What's going on, guys? Sorry about being late today. Had a really late lunch. Had a business meeting earlier. So came in a little late today, but we're gonna do the same thing we do basically every day. I'll stream for about an hour, so we'll stay a little after today. Make sure I get in at least an hour. We'll go over a little bit of the price action on SPY, Bitcoin, the usual. A couple things I want to talk about with Bitcoin, kind of go over some of the things that I called out in Discord and kind of how you guys can look for these patterns in the future. We'll talk about that after we do the recap on SPY. Give me 1 second. All right, let's go to SPY here. If you guys are in the Discord, I did make a new channel for the bot. It's called Trading Bot Alerts. It's towards the bottom of the Oasis section. There hasn't been any signals just yet, but when there is a signal, that is the channel that the bot will post to. So it's already connected to my live trading account. So it's going to take the live trade and then it's going to send the alert at the same time to the Discord. So it's a buy only bot. It's looking for breakouts in a bullish manner. So since we're seeing a bearish move on Bitcoin, it's probably not going to have a signal for probably the rest of the day, maybe tomorrow if we start to pull back. But we're not going to get a signal until we start to see some momentum towards the upside on Bitcoin. So I'll let you guys know when that is alerted. All right, let's go ahead, clean up our chart here, and let's get started. So I'm going to replay today's price action. We're going to go over how you could have traded it. I'm going to let it run until like 10:30, get some price action here. I know the stream, like I said, has been a little bit repetitive lately. Once I get these bots done, I'm going to work on the stream. We're going to get finally get some production value going on in the stream. I know the stream's been kind of mediocre the past couple of weeks. All right, here's 10:30. I do appreciate you guys stopping by the stream every day. I know it's pretty much the same content, but it's good to learn these things over and over until you finally kind of grasp the concepts, right? So, all right, it's 10:30. I see what I basically see already is a balanced profile, pretty balanced. Most of the volume towards the middle, POC pretty much matching yesterday's POC. A little bit of volume towards the lower tail, a little bit of volume towards the upper tail, but most of that volume is towards the middle of the day. So you are pretty safe to buy the lows on a day like this and sell the highs. So because we are still in yesterday's range, what I would do is I would go back and look at yesterday's profile, and I would pay attention to the important levels on the profile, right? So we have a gap right here on yesterday's profile. We also have a high volume node right here. We also have the daily open, and then we have yesterday's low, right? So let's mark out yesterday's low as well. So these are going to be your important levels for this lower range of today. Now, typically, you only want to grab the previous day's levels if the current day is close to those levels, right? So if we saw like a massive gap up here, I would pay attention to the levels on the top of yesterday, right? And then if we saw a massive gap down, I would probably pay attention to the levels towards the bottom, right? So since today is pretty much continuing that range of yesterday, you can grab most of these levels to kind of pay attention to where price action is testing, right? So a good example of this is you can see the gap right here on yesterday. Look at where we failed on today. So the high of today was testing that gap of yesterday, right? So we had that gap be tested, and then we saw that failure downward. And you kind of were hovering around yesterday's VWAP and yesterday's POC. So you're just kind of continuing the distribution of yesterday, right? But all right, so let's Let's move forward a little bit here. So as long as you kind of maintain above yesterday's low, this is a decent buy the bottom setup because you're kind of testing the support of yesterday. Okay, so now that you're breaking through the low, it's pretty scary, but look at that support coming in. Support is starting to come in here. So I would wait for a decent signal, probably wait for a signal on like the Momo or on the OTS, but you are starting to show signs of a bottom here. So you see how once you reclaim this daily low here, you kind of start to consolidate again. You're finding value. You're starting to build that value. Once you reclaimed yesterday's low, you can kind of treat that as like a value area low, and that gives you a decent buy signal there. You could wait for confirmation from the Momo or from the OTS, but it does give you a decent buy signal there. Hey, Bitmass, what's going on, man? So now the OTS is shifting green, but the Momo is kind of losing momentum. So if the Momo starts to gain momentum here, it's going to be fully confirmed, and you basically would be targeting your important levels here, like the value area low, and then VWAP POC. So Momo did not confirm there. You see what it did? See how Momo started to climb, but then it instantly got failed? And it kind of gave you a very minuscule bear div here. You see how it goes peak to peak right here? And the Momo fails? So it did not give you a confirmation there. That was actually a sell signal, if you wanted to take it that way. You had a failure of your two levels here from yesterday, which were those daily open high volume node levels. And then you had that very minuscule bear div there. So you could have actually taken a short there for a continuation downward. Still very strong to the downside. You want to wait for a kind of a bull div to play out here. So now you're starting to form a bull div. Look at the Momo. Starting to form a bull div. If you get a confirmed bull div here, you could take this trade, target your high volume nodes here. See, there's your bull div. Your bull div is starting to confirm. Okay, so once you start to bounce here, this is a confirmation of that bull div. You see the Momo? You have kind of a double peak bull div. It fails into a triple peak bull div, and then boom. So once you started to retrace here, really strong momentum candle here, that could have been a good buy signal. Like I always told you guys, when you are in those tails, right, that upper tail, lower tail, like I call exhaustion, when you have these breakouts forming, you do not want to counter trade this unless you have a bull div or a bear div, right? There's that high volume nodes being tested. Your first target is being hit. Your final target would be close to the value area low. You could also hold for VWAP as well, but value area low would definitely be a good place to let go of the trade. There's your target being hit. So this would have been a pretty good trade. You could have got in once this candle closed, and that would have given you 11 points. That's over $500. You could have taken profit on the high volume node that was somewhere around here for 4 or 5 points. That's close to $200, $250. Hey, what's going on, Turnip? But you should be closing around the value area low here. So this is going to be very important here. If the value area low starts to fail, like we're currently seeing, this is very bearish, right? Because price is retesting that value area low, but you should be bouncing back into it if you were bullish. You should be heading back into VWAP. You're not heading back into VWAP here. You are starting to fail off the value area low. So once you start to reject that value area low, this is saying that price wants to find value towards this lower range, and it wants to shift that value area towards the bottom, right? Let's see if it plays out. You're trying to reclaim the value area here. Make sure you pay attention to the momentum. Nope, momentum failing. Oh, but then you got a ridiculous pump there. Nice volume came in. So that was kind of out of nowhere. You had a really strong move down here. You were failing the value area low. Pretty good momentum to the downside, and that buy just came out of nowhere and destroyed you. So for the most part, you probably would have lost this trade. If you were shorting this trade here, if you were shorting the value area low failure, you probably would have lost this trade because that was kind of out of nowhere. That didn't really give you any warning signs. So very likely you would have lost that trade. This was actually right on lunchtime too. So the very obvious trades for today was the bull div here. And then you would have taken this trade here most likely and you would have lost. You'd be 1 for 1 currently. You'd be very positive though because this trade was huge. Alright, let's keep going here. It's trying to fail yesterday's daily low. Let's see if it reclaims it. Here's your VWAP tested. So if you actually held on to this trade all the way into VWAP, you could have closed here. Very unlikely that you would have held that. But if you did, you would have closed on VWAP here. Watch the momentum here. This is not showing very strong momentum on this VWAP test. So very likely going to fail VWAP like we're currently seeing. Is the value area low in the same spot? Yeah, value area low is still pretty much in the same spot. If it re-fails the val here, it's looking pretty bearish. Hey, Digital, what's going on, man? Oh, there you go. So this is what I was talking about. You had that failure of VWAP. You retraced to the downside. Now look what happened. We shifted our value area towards that lower section. So now you are confirming your bearish day. You are slightly balanced if you didn't have this massive gap in the middle. You have kind of a uppercase B shape where you have that initial range of the day and then a failure downward and then a range on the day on the bottom. Typically during days like this, if you do want to balance out, you are targeting that gap. So if you are betting on a balance out here, you would be taking the buy the dip signals and you would be targeting the gap here. You're still filling in that lower section. Let's see if you're able to balance out here. So now your value area low actually became your POC. So your new val is down here. Still balancing out, no real signals here. You do have a little bit of a gap down here that you could play off of if it does come towards the gap. Besides that, nothing really giving you a signal here. Still just hovering around POC, filling in that POC. Still no signals, really. This is actually very impressive, how long this is filling in that POC. Okay, so now we're starting to break VWAP, so it's starting to give you a little bit of a signal here. Nope, then it failed, so no signal. Let me move these forward. You do have a gap there, and you do have your value area low. Actually, your value area low shifted right below that gap. So a lot of support down here. Besides that, no real signals coming in. Here comes that support. So watch this support test. There's the support being tested beautifully. So if you were able to buy the dip here on that gap, you had a near perfect entry. You can see how it wicked that gap pretty much to the tick and then bounced off of it. So if you were able to enter on that gap, you had a perfect entry. You would be taking a little piece off on POC or VWAP. POC is being tested, VWAP is being tested, so you definitely... Okay, so now we're back to live. So you definitely should be... you should have taken a lot of profit there on POC and VWAP. And now once you're coming back towards your entry, you could hold on to maybe like 1 or 2 contracts, depending on how many contracts you trade. But for the most part, you took your profit already. Let me leave that there actually to show how that bounced. And we have our value area low actually shifting above the gap now. So for today, we have about 20 minutes left. If this wanted to balance out, it'd be very rare to see. It would have to shoot up here and fill in this gap right here. It's pretty balanced. You have most of that volume towards the middle, little bit on the top, a little bit on the bottom. But because you have a decent amount of volume towards the open here, right here, towards the top, it is giving you a pretty massive gap in the upper range. If this wanted to be completely balanced, like textbook balanced, it would have to break out towards the end of the day here and fill in this gap. Hey Lee, you said, can you explain more about BPD shed today or yesterday? What is the market reaction to those? I'm not sure what you mean by shed. But BPD are just the different forms of profiles, right? You have like the uppercase B, which we're seeing today. You have the D shape, which is the most common balanced. And then you have a P shape, which is bullish. And then you have a lowercase b shape, which is bearish. These are the 4 profiles that I look for. I released a video on this, I believe. One of my last volume profile videos. But yeah, so this is balanced. You would typically trade this, sell the highs, buy the lows. This you would trade, buy the lows, be careful selling the highs. And then this you would trade, sell the highs, be careful buying the lows. This is 50-50, so it depends on which way the profile is moving. If this was the first profile of the day and then it shifted downward, it's bearish. If it was started at the bottom and then shifted upward, it's bullish. So it depends on how the day formed. Today would be slightly bearish because we're seeing that uppercase B shape. It's not so much, it's pretty much balanced now, but before it started to range like this, it was pretty much an uppercase B. But so now this is pretty bearish because you have a little bit of volume towards the top, but then you shift downward and you have most of the volume towards the lows, right? But if this wanted to form into a balanced profile, where you see that kind of perfect bell curve, what would you have to do here? You would have to fill this in because you would have to be perfectly balanced, right? You would have to fill this in here, kind of meet that requirement. Let me remove all these drawings here. We'll start fresh. Zoom in a little bit here so we can see the price action. But a couple of things that I wanted to go over here. Going back to like regular price action techniques, not so much volume profile stuff. I've been calling this out on Bitcoin for quite some time here. If you look at the Bitcoin price action here on the 4-hour, this was very obvious. You saw I kind of messed up my range a little bit here. The range would be slightly lower around here. But you have this distribution play out, right? You have that impulse move up, accumulation, impulse move up. This gives you your distribution. You have your high being put in, your low being put in. So now your range is forming, right? Distribution, you always have to form the high first. That's why I had to move my range down a little bit. Distribution, the way that I trade it, the high must be formed before the low. So it goes impulse up, high, low. And then accumulation, impulse down, low, high. Right? Okay, so now we have impulse move up, high, low. This is our range. Deviation, rejection of the high, failure of the low. Okay? I called this out in Discord when we were up here. I said that we were losing momentum very quickly. If it did not see a impulse in momentum, you were going to roll over very quickly here, which you did. I also called out that you were flipping the trail right here, and if you did not regain that trail within the morning session, you were going to roll over, which you did. So a couple of signs here that you could have shorted this. You had that failure of the high. Well, first sign here was the deviation. First sign was the deviation. Second sign was the failure. Third sign was the Momo completely losing momentum. The final sign was you flipping the trail here and then not regaining it, right? So you had 4 different sell signals here that I called out all of them in Discord. So if you guys were paying attention, hopefully you guys were on the right side of that trade. Another thing I called out in Discord using the volume profile, which we talked about on stream. Let me pull up this screenshot here to help you guys out. Where is my screenshot? Oh yeah, it was this one here. So I didn't mark it out, but this one here is when I said the bottom of the 4-hour distribution. Once you lose this, you are very likely to see 87 to 89. What I meant by that was this point of origin right here. So I forgot to mark it out for you, but 87 to 89, there's the 89. And if you take that a little bit lower towards your 87 level, that is the range that you are likely to hit once you broke out of this distribution, right? Because what do you see? You see that accumulation, breakout to the upside, distribution, failure downward, right? So once you fail, you're likely to retest your support, which is your point of origin, right? The point of origin started around 89, and then the bottom of that point of origin would be around 87. How often you recap per week? I stream 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I do a recap every day. Every day except for the weekends. So now we are finding support on that point of origin. But this is still, unless you bought like perfectly in that support, you don't really want to buy here. It's a pretty late buy, right? I'll pull up exo charts here. I'm not going to give away too much, obviously, because I talked about this in Discord, but I'll give you guys a few hints. So if you look at the near-term price action, you have no supports back here, right? This is basically showing you that you have your distribution, and then you're breaking downward. You have no supports. But if you zoom back out, a little harder to see because I can't draw, but if you zoom back out, you have this cluster of support back here, right? You have a little cluster of support, distribution, break downward. I'm just showing you guys basically the same exact thing I showed you on the price chart, how you could have looked at it on a volume profile chart or a market profile chart, okay? So you have your accumulation. You can see value areas are pretty much standard. DOCs are pretty much in the same spots. You have your breakout candle here, and then you have your distribution, okay? So you lost your distribution low, which could have been said to be around 93.50 to 9400. I told you guys it was a little bit higher, around 95.16. I used this kind of upper range as my distribution. So once you lost this little low here, this cluster of support, where are you going back into, right? You're going back into this support back here. So where is the most support? Well, if you go here and you grab a... If you grab a snipping tool, you can see that you have a lot of support right here. Cluster of support there. Cluster of support there. And then basically these days are pretty much the same. So all of your support, you can make this very easy on yourself and just look at the POCs. So these pink lines. Look at where all these pink lines are. We have 8750, 8650, 8740, 8900. So basically all of these supports are around 8750 to 8900. Exactly what I said in Discord, right? So how do I zoom over here? My taskbar is hiding this. Whatever, it's not letting me move over. But if you push this over here, you can see that we're around 89 to 87, and then look at where you bounce. You can see that you bounce pretty much exactly on these POC levels. Okay. That's how you could have seen that price action on the volume profile chart. That's how you could have seen the price action on the regular chart. So hopefully you guys remember these patterns. They happen very often. Basically the same exact thing that we saw here. The same exact thing that we saw here is what just happened here. Okay. So I can go over this again just so you guys can get an understanding. I'll go ahead and delete these. So like if you're looking at this price action here, you see this top pivot in, you're not able to gain the pivot, failure downward. Accumulation, now we break our accumulation high. Where are we headed? We're heading back into that point of origin, okay? So where is our point of origin? You have a small point of origin here. You have a point of origin up here as well. So if you look at your point of origin levels, you basically take that level to the tick. Almost to the dollar, you grab that level, right? That's how you could have traded it on the price action chart. Here's your accumulation. Break of the accumulation high into the point of origin, okay? Now let's look at it on a volume profile chart. What does it look like? We see a little bit of accumulation, sorry, a little bit of distribution. You lose your value. You fail downward, massive gap. Because you don't have that volume right there. Massive failure, accumulation. Breakout candle. Why is this a breakout candle? Because look at these three candles. These three candles are all ranging in the same range. Every time you try to find value, outside that range, you are losing it. But then look at this day. This day finds value outside that upper range. So this is telling you that you are breaking out, right? So you have your breakout. Where are you headed? You're headed back into your previous value ranges. So you could pull these over. Look at your previous value ranges. You see what I'm showing? Look at where you topped out. You topped out in that previous value. Okay? So this is your trigger. This is your target. Same thing as what we're seeing right now. It's just patterns, guys. You guys got to get used to seeing these patterns. They happen time and time again. Hey, Rum, what's going on, man? Trying to see if there's anything I want to talk about here on the volume profile chart. I don't think there is. Let's go on to the volume profile chart here. Let's look at this on a higher time scale. And you can probably see exactly what I'm showing on a longer time scale. So basically exactly what I just showed you on the shorter time scale is happening on the longer time scale on the weekly. Okay? What are we seeing on the weekly? You have distribution. Failing downward, massive failure. That's that capitulation candle. That's that capitulation candle. And then what do you see here? Value towards the high, towards the high, towards the high, towards the high, towards the high. Your value is increasing. The buyers are strong here, right? And then where are you retracing towards? So if you're buying the dip, if you're buying these tails, the exhaustion points, Where are you retracing towards? You're retracing towards your point of origin. Right? Same exact thing we just saw on a lower time scale on the weekly. Same thing, man. Happens time and time again. It's the market searching for value. Same thing that we're seeing on the daily. It's just not finished playing out yet. So the daily, what are you seeing? I'll give you guys a little time to look at it before I mark it up. What are you seeing on the daily? Same exact thing. Distribution. Failure downward. Value increasing. Where are you increasing towards? You're increasing towards your point of origins. Where did you fail? You failed on your point of origins. Okay, so now, once again, what is happening? Distribution. Accumulation. Failing downward. Where are you failing towards? You're failing towards your point of origins. Okay. Where are your point of origins? Your point of origins are around 8,900 and around, I'd probably say 85 to 87, exactly what I said earlier. Rump said, so we focus on weekly close. It happens on all time scales, man. It depends on whatever time scale you're trading. Yeah, so you don't, like, you guys always ask me, like, if you need exo charts or you need volume profile or if you need this. You don't really need anything, man. You can see the price action. It's like looking through different windows, right? Or through different lenses, if you will. You're looking at the same thing. It's like different pairs of binoculars. You're looking at the same thing. It's just giving you a different view. You can see it playing out on the candlesticks just as you would see it on the volume profile. It's just giving you a different view. Lee said, do you recap NQ or ES? Yeah, so I recap SPY, which is exactly the same as ES, basically. SPY is what I use to trade the ES. And NASDAQ, I don't recap that because it's pretty much exactly the same as the ES. It would be repetitive as hell if I was recapping all of them. So I just choose to recap the SPY because the ES is the most liquid trading instrument in the world, and the SPY is the ETF that is based on the ES, right? So I do the SPY, which goes over basically the entire market. Now, once I'm done with... So if you guys were watching my recaps like a few weeks ago when I wasn't working on my bots, I was doing this live in Discord. So it wasn't all hindsight. I was calling out the levels live in Discord. And you guys can go back and watch those videos. And you can see that I was calling out the levels the same exact way that I do it in hindsight. I was doing it live. So once I'm done with my bots, I'm going to go back to doing that live in Discord in the stock analysis channel. So you guys will be able to see how I'm calling these levels as they're happening. Right now, I'm using my morning session. I typically get on the PC around 10 o'clock, and I'm basically working until stream to get these bots finished. So I hope by the end of today, I will have the Ethereum bot recoded onto TradingView. I hope by the end of tomorrow or Saturday, I will have that bot live trading. And then I've got 2 more bots to go after that. Once all 4 are finished, I'm good to go back to my live trading on SPY. Man said, what is ES? ES is the futures contract of the SPY, of the S&P 500. Back when I traded futures back in like 2016, 2017, It was the most liquid trading instrument in the world. I believe it still is. It might have got overtaken by a Forex pair or something, but I'm pretty sure ES is still the most liquid. Most liquid meaning the most daily traded contracts, most volume. Basically, every hedge fund in the world that trades equities and that trades the US market is trading the ES. That's why volume profile trading and auction theory is very strong on the ES. Because when you have a large amount of participants in the market, the volume profile is going to be very powerful. By the way, guys, on Webull, today is their 2-year anniversary. So if you haven't signed up already, if you sign up today only, they are giving you a chance to earn 3 free stocks instead of 2. So I'll post my link here in a second if you guys want to support the channel and check out Webull at the same time. You can give them a look. As I said, guys, we are partnered with Webull, so if you guys use my link, I do directly benefit from it. Here is the link. If you guys want to get involved, they are giving away, you get 2 free stocks, 1 for signing up, 1 for depositing $100. If you deposit at least $100, I'll also give you 30 days access to our indicators, and you will get a chance to earn a 3rd free stock. All the stocks you can earn are up to $1,400. Pretty big. But with that said, let's take a look at the screeners. I was a little late on calling out the scans here today, but here are the scans at the end of the day. Pretty big moves on the micro-pharma industry, as always. Big companies, we've got Canopy Growth still going. All these other companies I don't really know. Royal Caribbean doing well. Ross Stores doing well. That's actually impressive on Ross Stores since most of their stores are closed. Everything else I'm not too familiar with. Looks like cannabis is still doing pretty good. Massive breakout here. Oh, that's on a 1 minute, so that's not too big. Let's see the daily. Yeah, daily's pretty strong. I called this out, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I said it was very likely to go to $20. Probably will see $20 here. Let's take a look at our other scans. Penny stock movers, let's take a look. Massive move here, 151% on XTNT. Never heard of it. Look at that. Jesus. Went from 70 cents to $3.50. This must be a buyout. This must be a buyout. Somebody's probably buying them out. Actually, I don't know. I don't see any buyout news. They might have had a drug pass their FDA testing. Interesting. But yeah, guys, check them out. We are going to be doing a lot of live trading on Webull for stocks and options once I'm situated with these bots. Very powerful platform, especially if you guys are coming from Robinhood. It's like night and day. They offer a lot more just quality of life improvements over Robinhood. So we did see a market close there, pretty balanced. Like I said, a little bit of volume towards the open of the day. So it did kind of break that balance profile. I did look at the daily here on SPY, and it does not look very good. So if we look at the daily here, if you guys read my write-up, did this call the top to the penny? Oh, it missed it by a little bit. So the pivot is on 298.21. The high is 297.87. Missed it by, what is that, like 30 cents? But yeah, so if you guys read my write-up in Discord, I mentioned this pivot was the local bullish target. It was going to give you a lot of resistance up to 300. And we're currently seeing that resistance. So it is failing that pivot pretty much to the penny. And we're seeing an engulfing candle the next day. That is not a good sign for the market here. If it was going to reverse back towards the 270s, 260s, this 300 range right here is going to be it. This is going to be the sell-off. But as I said previously, if it wanted to have that dead cat bounce mentality, it really needed to fail back here. This is kind of it's breaking the dead cat bounce mentality, but it's still a lot of resistance. This kind of 300 range right here, if it breaks through this 300 range and it shows strength, very likely you will retrace towards like 331. But if you're not able to retrace and break above this 300, very likely that we come back down towards like the 270s. So this is like the line in the sand here, this pivot. And it's not looking too good, especially not going into the weekend. Can we do day trading on Webull? Yeah, of course. If you can day trade on Webull, obviously, if you don't have $25,000 in capital, you still are required to pay attention to the pattern day trader rule. So you can only day trade 3 times in a 5-day trading period. It's the same as it is on every platform in America. No platform in America can get away from that PDT rule. If they are regulated by the SEC, they have the PDT rule. But yes, you can day trade. You just have to meet the requirements. Or if you don't meet the requirements, just make sure you don't go over 3 day trades in a 5-day period. Yeah, it's a really stupid rule, Digital. It's funny, in college I've written multiple papers about the PDT rule in my finance classes when I had to write papers on different trading topics or financial topics. I always use the PDT rule as my topic. I've done a lot of research on it. It's ridiculous. How do they define 3-day trades? That's a good question, and it's quite ridiculous. So the way they define it is if I bought the bottom here and I sold a piece here and I sold a piece here, that is 2 day trades. That's why it's so ridiculous. This is considered 2 day trades instead of 1 day trade. It's very ridiculous. Another ridiculous part about the PDT rule. Okay, so let's say I had 3 day trades this week. Okay? So if I had 3 day trades this week, I'm already at the limit. I can't day trade anymore. Okay? So if I bought the bottom here and I wanted to put in a stop loss to protect me, I'm not allowed to put in a stop loss because I can put in a stop loss, but if that stop loss gets filled in the same day, that counts as a day trade, and I will be marked as a pattern day trader, and I'll have my account closed. So basically, if you have met your 3 day trades on the week, and you buy a new stock, you cannot put in a stop loss, because if that stop loss is hit during the same day, you're marked. It's pathetic, dude. It's ridiculous. There is literally zero benefit to the pattern day trader rule. The only argument that the pro PDT rule people have is they say that it protects people who don't have a lot of money from losing a lot of money, right? It protects retail traders from losing a lot of money. That's bullshit. And I'll tell you why. That's bullshit because I can go and open a futures trading account with $500. Futures are the most lucrative trading instrument in the world. It is the most leveraged trading instrument in the world. Out of all the markets there are, futures trading is the most leveraged there is. Besides, like, obviously, like 100xing on, like, fucking crypto or shitcoins, right? On standard trading, futures is the most lucrative. And I can go open an account with $500 and I can day trade as much as I want. So the whole idea that they're protecting retail traders is bullshit. There has been multiple attempts to get rid of the PDT rule, and they've all been shot down. What's the real idea? The real idea, I'm assuming, is just to keep poor people poor and not allow poor people to day trade. Now, one of the rules that I do approve of, that I like that the SEC puts forth, is any margin trading in the US is limited to like 4 to 6x leverage. Some exchanges or some brokerages allow you to go a little bit over, I believe. But for the most part, you cannot trade with more than like 4 to 6x leverage, excuse me. Which I do agree with. I think that's a good move. But besides that, this is America. Like, we are one of the most capitalist societies in the world, and you're gonna tell your citizens what they can and can't do with their money. It's quite ridiculous. Digital said Bitcoin 1 hour Momo is doing something it hasn't done in a while. Let's take a look. What is it doing? Oh, it's flattening out. Yeah. That is a flat trend. You are right. If you guys are unfamiliar with the Momo, when it flattens out like that, like you see here, that means that it's entering a price discovery phase. It's entering this kind of very strong trend phase. So it flattened out kind of around here. It was telling you that it was entering a strong downtrend. It was entering that phase. Typically, it will flatten out at 15 to the mark. What's so funny is that's one of the things about the Momo that was never intended. The price the trend line flattening out like that, the bull and bear traps, none of that stuff was intended. The pinching was not intended. It's all just patterns that they formed on their own, you know what I mean? We coded it. It uses my formula. It was not meant to do any of that stuff. It just kind of it just happened. The reason I was asking to do an NQ recap because the futures is the only way for people who have account less than 25K. Yeah, I do a SPY recap, dude. So SPY recap is the same exact thing as the ES recap. If you put the SPY chart next to the ES chart, it is basically bar to bar exactly the same. The only difference is the ES chart has longer trading hours because it's a futures contract. But if you look at the price action bar to bar, oh, I'm on Bitcoin, oops. If you look at the price action bar to bar, it is near identical. And to even further my point, I chart the SPY and I trade the ES. I also chart the ES on my futures broker, but when I'm charting on TradingView, I chart the SPY. That goes against my own rule too. My own rule is typically always chart what you're trading. So if you're trading on BitMEX, chart BitMEX, right? Everyone always asks like what ticker should you use for Bitcoin? I always tell them you should use whatever you're trading. Chart what you trade. Yeah, so I do the recap on SPY. SPY is equal to ES. Also, ES is pretty much equal to NQ. If you look at the NQ chart, compared to the SPY, it is near identical. The only time that it's not identical is stuff like this, like today, or sorry, like this overall coronavirus, because the NASDAQ is heavily focused on tech companies, right? The NASDAQ is heavily focused on tech companies. Because of the coronavirus, the tech companies are doing very well, as we saw on FANG, right? Which I have right here. So as we see on FANG, which is Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, the FANG just keeps hitting all-time highs. The FANG is one of the largest movers of the NASDAQ, right? So if you're looking at the FANG and you want to trade NASDAQ, you really need to keep an eye on the FANG, because the FANG will lead the NASDAQ very often. You see how they're near identical? So if you're a futures trader, if you're an equities trader, you need to understand all these correlations. He said Webull offers many shortable equities. Yeah, there's a lot of shortable equities on Webull. They will tell you on Webull which ones are shortable. If you click on the stock, it will be in like the top right on your trading screen, and it will say marginable or shortable. That's another big thing about Webull, is they allow shorting, and Robinhood does not. I have a couple of videos on Webull. I have a couple little walkthroughs and penny stock trading techniques. I also have threads on Twitter going over all the benefits of Webull's platform. Here is one of my threads. Oh, actually, that's not one of the threads. Where is it? Let me go to it. Where are my threads? I made really long threads on Webull. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. I'll find it off stream. I'll send it to you guys on Discord. I think that was the thread. Did I just not see the other tweets? Oh, here it is. Yeah, that was the thread. So here's a thread on a lot of the things I like about it. He said, I heard that about Robinhood, but wasn't sure about Webull. Yeah, so Robinhood, you can't short. Webull, you can. Okay, so I can go over a couple more things here before we end up the stream. So looking forward on Bitcoin, like I said, I can't give away too much because I talk about this in Discord. But a little hint here, you really want to pay attention to the Val, right? So when you see these kind of breakdown days, you see that long tail, it's getting exhausted, right? You see that kind of swing failure, prices bouncing out of that support. If you reclaim the Val, ask yourself, where are we headed, right? If you reclaim the Val, you just need to see where you headed on the previous resistance levels. Sorry, I just had to ban somebody real fast. Yeah, Lee, the Discord right now is still a premium service. So we offer the trial, which is going to become the monthly, and then we offer the one-time payment as well. I think we have like 4 slots left in May. Maybe 3. But we're going to open up probably like 5 more slots in June. I'm trying to limit the amount of people that can join so we can keep it growing at a standard pace and not get overwhelmed. Because I answer a lot of DMs. The Discord doesn't seem very active on the face value, but a lot of you guys like talking to me privately. I also need to keep it so I can still do the one-on-one tutoring at a standard pace. You can see how clean this was on the 50-minute on Fang. Look at how trendy this was. You can see the trail is this following price. All the way down, all the way up, all the way down again. Pretty standard price action here. Digital said I'm drunk right now. Had an entire bottle of wine without realizing. Jeez. I actually don't like wine at all. I've never had a wine where I was like, ooh, that was good. Yeah. Like I've never had a sip of wine and been like, that's actually pretty good. All the wines that I've drank are just god awful. If I'm drinking, it's either just regular beer or it's tequila. I just bought a bottle recently of Casamigos, which is George Clooney's tequila. It's actually really good. You're so uncultured, yeah. Yeah, I'm a big tequila guy. I want to try out the Rocks tequila. There's a couple of tequilas that I want to try. They're like $200 a bottle, but I've prevented myself from buying them so far. I picked a pretty good time to get these bots finished because these bots are all long only bots, right? They're bullish bots. So once Bitcoin starts to kind of reverse here, even if it fails pretty low and starts to reverse, the next bull run, we should be able to catch most of it. The bots are showing very, very good results on the back testers. I've also gone through and tested them on TradingView to make sure the test on TrendSpider is accurate, and it looks perfect. So really, really excited to see these things play out live. Digital said I lean towards whiskey, mostly love my jacket, also a small whiskey brand called 10 Cup. Never heard of 10 Cup. You're gonna hate me even more now. I hate Jack Daniels. You're gonna unsubscribe. Yeah, I am not a fan of Jack Daniels. I do not like Jack Daniels at all. I like Johnny Walker Black Label. I like the smoky whiskeys. If it's like smoky, I like that. You're building a bot on a platform? Oh man, I built the strategies on TrendSpider. It's an iteration of the strategies that I've been showing on stream for the past like 6 months. I took that strategy, I added a shit ton to the entry side of it, I changed the exit side, and I created multiple bots off of that system. So I have a 15-minute Bitcoin, 15-minute Ethereum, I have a 1-hour Ethereum, and I have a 4-hour Bitcoin. All 4 of them are long-only bullish bots, so they look to grab the uptrends of Bitcoin, and then they look to hold on to the profits and don't trade during the downtrends. So once those are all 4 complete, I'm going to work on building a short heavy bot as well. But yeah, one of them is already live. So I just added it to the Discord. It's being live traded right now. The account is currently only like $300. Once it takes like 3 trades and I see that it's doing exactly what it should be doing, I'm going to throw some more money at it. And then we're going to play around with it. Johnny is good. Yeah, Johnny Walker's good, man. 10 cup is real smoky and dark. I'll try that. 10 cup. I've never... Let me see what the bottle looks like. I've probably seen the bottle. I remember alcohol more by the bottle than I do by the names. N-cup whiskey. Let's see. That bottle's actually sick looking. I've never seen this before. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that. Is it expensive? What are we talking? We talking like 40 a bottle, 50 a bottle? I love that bottle. That bottle's actually really nice. Highest I've seen was 60. That's pretty standard. Okay, so like 40 to 60, that's like good whiskey. Anything under like 40, you're going to get more of the cheaper stuff. Same thing with tequila. Anything under like $40 for a good bottle of tequila, it's not a good bottle of tequila. If you're paying less than like $40 for a bottle, and by bottle I mean at least $3.75. Hey, Kito, what's going on, man? Yeah, I'll have to try that out. If you guys like tequila, I know a lot of these like celebrity alcohol brands. They're just trying to get involved in different industries. Like we've got The Rock, we've got McGregor, we've got George Clooney. There's P. Diddy's got one. Like all these different celebrities start into the alcohol business, right? But the Casamigos from George Clooney is actually really good. It's one of the smoothest tequilas I've ever had. We're after hours here, guys. Typically when we hit after hours, we don't talk about trading too much. So, sorry if you guys are just coming in, if you guys are new to the stream. We go over a lot of trading stuff during market hours, a little after hours here, so just kind of hanging out. Who owns Ciroc? That's P. Diddy, I think. Is it P. Diddy or... Yeah, I think it's P. Diddy. I used to swear by Ciroc when I was in, like, high school. Well, yeah, never mind. Ciroc is pretty good. It's alright, I'll say that. In college, let's say that, in college. Digital said, I'll try the Clooney tequila if you try the Rock one. Let me know what you think. I don't know if I haven't been to a liquor store since this whole quarantine happened, so I don't know if the Rock's tequila is in my store yet. I wonder what his price point is. His price point is probably the same as George Clooney. Probably around like 40 bucks. I think $40 for a good bottle of tequila is not bad. Tequila you gotta be careful with because if you, like Luna Azul is cheap as hell. It's like 20 bucks or something. That will give you a horrible hangover. Because tequila already gives you a bad hangover. So if you're drinking the bad tequila, it's gonna mess you up. Digital said, I have a Ciroc bottle I haven't opened up for years. Got it for prom and forgot about it. Still there unopened. Ciroc is... It depends on which flavor you have, because some of the Cirocs are horrible. Ciroc is vodka, though. Ciroc isn't tequila. I used to swear by vodka, and then I switched to tequila, and tequila is a much better feeling than vodka. I'm not a very big drinker, though. Even when the quarantine wasn't happening, me and my buddies would go out to drink like once every 2 weeks, maybe. Ciroc is Snapple vodka. Yeah, that's actually a good way to put it. Yeah, Snapple vodka. Yeah, pretty much. Ciroc is a party drink, right? Ciroc's one of those drinks where, like, if you're in college or if you're not a boomer, you're like in your 20s. Everybody's had Ciroc, right? It's a drink that pretty much everybody will drink. It's one of those, like, you'll buy it for a party and you'll know that everybody will drink it. I don't think boomers will touch Ciroc, though. Vodka is good for mixing. I don't like it straight. I agree. Yeah. Alright, this is gonna sound very college. Very, like, frat boy. But I'm not even gonna say it. Never mind. Not even gonna ruin my reputation, you know? I was gonna give you guys a good drink. But a lot of you guys are probably too old. You're just gonna laugh at me. To put it into perspective, a lot of people think I'm a lot older. I'm only 24, guys. I'm only 24. I'm not as old as most people think. I started trading at a very young age. Started trading at 16 on a paper trading account till I turned 18. Then I started live trading. And I've been live trading since I was 18. So. Alright, I'll tell you, but you guys can't laugh, okay? I did this one time, and it was fantastic. 1800 tequila, right? 1800 fantastic tequila. I'm saying that right, 1800, right? Yeah. 1800. You get a large strawberry lemonade from Wendy's. I know you're already laughing. And you put a shit ton of 1800 tequila in it. It's fantastic. That's like one of the only times I've ever mixed tequila with anything besides, like, you can make tequila kamikazes. Those are okay. Margaritas are good. If I drink vodka, I'm drinking kamikazes. If you guys haven't had a kamikaze, order a kamikaze. Go to a decent bar that knows what they're doing. Because if you go to a bar that sucks and you order a kamikaze, it tastes like the smell of nail polish remover or like a cleaner. That's what it tastes like if they make them poorly. But if they make them properly, they're really good. But kamikaze is 1/3 vodka, 1/3 lime juice, 1/3 triple sec. Very good. It's probably one of the best shots. Vegas bombs are good as well. Vegas bombs are good. I couldn't name what's in a Vegas bomb off the top of my head, but Vegas bombs are good. If I drink tequila, though, it's typically straight. Just straight tequila. I'll drink margaritas if we're, like, I don't know, like having a dinner or something. That's the hood punch, yeah. If you guys have any trading questions, feel free to ask them. We're just hanging out right now. A flaming Lamborghini, is that the name of a drink? I don't think I would ever order that just because the name is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not busy today, man. I mean, I kind of am busy. I could hop off right now and work on my bot, but I'll hang out for a little bit. I'm not overly busy today, so I'll hang out for a little longer. Digital said, yeah, those are the best. Kamikazes are the best for watching your friends get sloppy. Yeah. Google it. All right, hold on. The name is terrible, dude. I don't care how good this sounds. If I ordered something called a flaming Lamborghini, I would want my friend to punch me in the face at the bar. I'd be like, hey, bartender, come here. Can I, hold on. Can I get a flaming Lamborghini? Like, you'd have to be really quiet, push him off to the side a little bit. All right, what's in this thing? It is 1 ounce coffee liqueur, 1 ounce de Sambuca. I've never heard of that. Sambuca. 1 ounce. I can't even pronounce these ingredients. I'm just gonna show you guys what this is. I'm not even gonna butcher these names. Yeah, Bailey's, okay. I don't think I know what any of these are. I told you, I'm not a big drinker. The bartender would judge you so hard, they really would. Yeah, I'd say here I'll go top to bottom, like my favorite drinks of all the major drinks. So vodka, I'd probably say Grey Goose. Tequila, actually it's pretty close because I just had Casamigos and I like 1800 Silver. But Casamigos is probably my number one now. It's so smooth. So probably Casamigos for tequila. Whiskey, probably Johnny Walker Black. What did I not do? Vodka, tequila, whiskey, rum. Rum, I don't drink rum a lot. Probably Captain Morgan Spice. It's funny as hell because I cannot stand mixing syrupy soda with alcohol. Like people do like Jack and Coke and stuff like that. I can't stand it. I think it's horrible. But a good rum and Coke with a lot of like Captain Morgan Spice is fantastic. But Jack and Coke is one of the nastiest things I'll ever drink. Jack and Coke is one of the main reasons I don't like Jack Daniels. It's funny, none of my friends, I bought a bottle of Johnny Walker Black for the first time a while ago, and I brought it to my friend's house so we could all test it. None of them liked the smoky taste because it's like really smoky. Because they double age it in like smoked barrels. So it has a really strong smoky taste. They didn't like it. I thought it was okay. You're not a fan of Morgan? There was an apple rum I had years ago, but I can't remember what brand it was. Very good. An apple rum. Anything... whenever people say apple-flavored alcohol, all I think about is Smirnoff. I like Jack and Coke, but I prefer whiskey. Straight, yeah. So here's my bot that I built. This is the first bot that we released to the Discord. Oh, actually, that's the 1 hour. Sorry, this is the 15-minute. So here is the bot. The blue is when it's looking for a trade. This means it's looking for a trade, and then it will tell you long or close. What I plan on doing once I have all these bots finished, once I've tested them out for a little bit and make sure they're working properly, I'm going to release them on the Oasis TradingView account, but they're not going to be public. They're probably going to be private, and it's going to be very limited. It's probably going to be like 10 people, but I don't know what I'm going to do with them just yet. You can see that it's not been winning trades lately because this is a buy breakout bot. It only looks to buy breakouts, and it looks to hold it as long as possible. So it's not actually closing where it's saying it's closing most of the time. It's actually getting stopped out. So it has a 1% stop loss. So if it takes these trades and there's a 1% stop, so if it fails downward, it gets stopped out pretty much immediately. So it does not do well in sideways. It does not do well in downtrends. It doesn't really trade. You can see that it doesn't trade. But in uptrends, like look at these, it does very well. Pretty much all of these trades were small wins, and this trade was a very big win. It only has about a 30% win rate, but it still performs typically about 30 to 40% profit every 2 months. I've tested it over the past 6 months because if you use TrendSpider's tester, if you're on a 50-minute time frame, it can only do 2 months. So I waited. Well, I didn't do this on purpose, but I went back and tested them every couple of months before I started actually building them right now into automated. And we've been talking about this bot for about 6 months. And every 2 months, it does about 30 to 40%. So it's a very strong bot. But it needs those breakouts. It needs these breakouts. The good thing about it being on a 15-minute is it can still perform well in a down market, like in a bear market. It just needs strong breakouts to play with. But yeah, it only has a 30% win rate. So if you're someone who doesn't like losing, this bot would not be good. He said, they're only alerting, or are they taking trades as well? Yeah, it's taking trades. So this is fully automated. I have this automated on BIMX. It has not taken its first trade yet. I just posted it in Discord yesterday, I believe. Still waiting on that first trade. If this starts to reverse here, it will take its first trade. I have it trading on a 2x leverage too. Once I figure out that it's working properly 100%, I'll probably increase it to 3x. The problem is I can't go high on the leverage because it loses a lot. So if it has a really long losing streak on 2 or 3x leverage, it's going to get destroyed. It's going to lose like 7 out of the 10 trades. But those 3 breakouts that it catches, it's going to catch nearly the entire breakout. I could show you some screenshots, but I can't show you on TrendSpider because it will show my strategy. So here is the results for the past 2 months. It's up 47%. You can see it's a breakout bot. You see where it's green? Let me get rid of this. You see where it's green? That's where it's taking the trade. So this trade right here, sadly, it missed a lot of that move. But pretty much all these other breakouts, it caught almost the entire move. You see that? This is the only breakout where it got kind of faked. Everything else did very well. And then you can see it's red on the tops because it's very, very difficult to code something to make it so it doesn't get faked out on fake outs. Because if you got to think about it, if you're coding a strategy, how are you going to be able to tell it to, I don't know how to explain this. It's very hard to make a bot differentiate between a solid breakout and a fake out, right? It's easier for a human being. It's very hard for a bot. It's only long. This is long only. And that's why that's impressive. Long only. Very impressive. The drawdown is not very big either. The max drawdown is like 10%. Why do you say it's easier for a human? It's easier for a human because the human can look at many different variables. But if I code all those different variables into the bot, it's going to limit the amount of breakouts that it catches. It's almost like you're overfitting, right? So for a bot, all these different variables that I look at on a chart to determine if it's a real breakout or a fake out, if I code that into the bot, it's going to lose a lot of these breakouts because it's going to be asking itself all these different variables, and if they're not all correct, it's not going to take the trade. So you really don't want to confine it into a very small window, right? You kind of want to let it run. Digital said the Ichi bot has been getting caught up on false breakouts as well. Yeah. So this bot has different Ichi functions in it. I think the Ichi... When you think about what Ichi is, it's very helpful for bots. Because Ichimoku, for you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, Ichimoku is one of the easiest ways to... What am I doing? Where are the favorites? Here we go. Ichimoku is one of the easiest ways to help a bot determine if you're in an uptrend or a downtrend. It's almost the same as like using moving averages, right? I don't know why TradingView keeps deleting my saves. But using Ichimoku, it's very helpful because think about what the Ichimoku formula is. It's a Donchian formula. It's a formula that looks at highest price, lowest price, finds the average. That's what a Donchian channel does. It's the same formula. That formula is very strong in bots because it helps bots find the highest point, the lowest point, helps them find the average, and it helps them find when price is breaking those levels. So if you're a bot trader, or if you're looking to be a bot trader, I highly recommend looking into the Ichimoku formula and looking into the Donchian formula. If you guys are not familiar with the Donchian, it's the same exact formula as the Ichimoku. The Ichimoku guy just uses it differently. I think I'm pronouncing that right, Donchian. Pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. So Donchian, very simple. All it does is for whatever length you give it, it is marking the highest price, the lowest price, and the average. Same exact thing the Ichimoku does. But like if you go to 10, that's the 10 candle high, that's the 10 candle low, that's the 10 candle middle. This is also very good for like accumulation distribution traders. What do we see here? You see how it's flattening out like that? That's a distribution. You see how it's flattening out down here? That's an accumulation. You can tighten it up if you want. You can make it wider if you want. It's a very simple formula. It helps out bots a lot. And moving averages as well. Moving averages are very important in bots because they help determine where the trend is. So I'll give you guys a little hint here. I said this in Discord, so I'm not revealing too much, but a little hint for my 1 hour Ethereum bot. That bot does not trade unless the 100 is above the 200. This is the way that I tell the bot to look for an uptrend or a downtrend. So the one, this is on Bitcoin, but the bot's on Ethereum. So for Ethereum, the bot would not start to look for longs until like right here. And then during this entire breakout, it would only be looking for longs. And then it would stop looking for longs, right? It's a very simple formula to make my bot determine if it's in an uptrend or a downtrend. So like during this massive failure here, it might have got faked out here, I doubt it, but it would not be looking for trades. So moving averages are very powerful on bots. Donchian formulas are very powerful on bots. Bollinger Bands are very good as well. ATR is very good. But alright, I think I've gone over a shit ton this stream. I'm going to leave it at that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in Discord or come back tomorrow and let me know on stream. Like I said, hopefully I'll have the Ethereum bot posted in Discord, live trading within the next 2 to 3 days, and then I'll work on the next 2 bots as well. Yeah, guys, I'll be available in Discord for the rest of the day. I'm not too busy today besides working on the bot. So if you guys need me, just let me know. I'll be around. Appreciate you guys being here as always. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's all I got for you guys. I'll be streaming same time tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be on time, 3 p.m. Eastern. And then we will not be streaming on the weekend. And we'll get back, do our summary of markets on Sunday. And we'll be back streaming on Monday. All right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. If not, you guys have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys back on Monday. Peace out, guys.